Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Nigerians who has tuned in. This is Obi Ojimadu with my friends here, fellow gentlemen here. Today, like you've seen all the adverts that we've made, we want to talk about Nigeria. Nigeria, the national question. Let me introduce everybody. From my extreme left, Prince Oscar, who is a Biafran activist, an IPOB member. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Here we have Destiny Obasi, representing the South-South region, the Niger Delta region. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
And here we have Honorable Gentleman Lukman Adeniran. He represents the Southwest. And my right, we have Wadzani Jabani. He represents the northeastern zone of Nigeria. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
You see, 56 years after the independence of Nigeria, 50 years after the Nigerian Civil War, this is 2017. It's like we're just starting. Nigerians have never been so divided ever since the Civil War like we have today. Gentlemen, what happened? How did we get it wrong? We are having cries of secession like we've never had before. People are not happy with the government. We've never had so much anger and aggression, between tribes, religions. We've never had this to this extent ever in the history of this country. What happened? How did we get it wrong? Mr. Oscar, maybe you can say something to us.
First of all, thank you very much. Before I proceed, my name is Chibuzo Ojinaka. I heard from Umu Ejikoha, Umaka. Umaka is in Olo province. Olo is in Imo State. I am the national PRO of indigenous people of Biafra under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. To your question, sir, Nigeria as an entity or a country, as I may put it, have not been gotten it. First of all, Nigeria was built or created on a fraud by Colonel Frederick Lugard. So from there, which Nigeria has been created, things went wrong from that particular day of the creation of Nigeria. To start with, nobody here can tell me the meaning of Nigeria. Nigeria have no meaning. Who is the mother of Nigeria? Who born Nigeria? But as Frederick said, he said that the North and South have joined together. And the letter he wrote to Queen Elizabeth, by then he said that this is a mixture of people that cannot be together, just like oil and water. He knows. Their intention, they came, is because of what is in the resources of that particular region in Africa. So, as from there, things started going wrong by conducting the forced census. It's a forced census because they made it in a way that their indirect rule will proceed through the Northern Caliphate. They use them to rule the whole Nigeria. So I don't think that from the beginning, only God knows, God is not happy to join the three regions together because we have no common, how can I just put it? I mean, we are different people. without our own conception. They didn't call us. What do you think? Let us join together. Nobody discussed it. He just entered into the region. You. From now, you are a Nigerian. How come?
Okay, how has that affected Nigeria as a union or as a body, and how did that lead us to what we have today?
It leads us from where we have today because from the beginning there is no trust. He himself was biased because if Frederick Lugard had it correct or they wanted, one thing we have to understand is this: the whole colonial masters, they are in Africa because of their own potential interest. So, the structure they use to build Nigeria is that, when they say minority, who is minority? How can you be a minority in your own land? There is no minority. I am in my own place. How can I be a minority? Somebody from South, how can you be a minority? Or somebody from North, how can they be a minority? If we are one federalism, everybody is supposed to be equal. We shouldn't have any minority. So, to get Africa moving forward, we have to dismantle the structure of colonialism. Because the way they used to colonize Africa, they put Africa into perpetual slavery by using one ethnic to supersede other ethnic groups. So it's not working.
Okay, and what we have today in Nigeria, a lot of issues now going on. There's religious tension, and we have also tribal tension. So you're trying to say that this is a big. How did this, affect what is going on here? People are now not happy, or you're trying to bring people who cannot stay together, trying to force them into a union. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. How can people be happy? How can? Okay. I don't think there is a way that people can be happy in that kind of situation. Okay. Yes, of course. Some people claim they are born to rule. The power belongs to them, and they think that other people are infidels. Then tell me, how can we move on?
All right, thank you. Brother Lukman.
Oh, viewers at home, good evening. My name is Dr. Adrian Lukman Adewale. I'm from Osun State, to be precise. My brother from the Southeast have said a lot of things as regards where we are. But there's something that is very universal and very true, that your past has something to do with your present, and that automatically will determine your future. There's something you can decide by yourself that I want this thing, but you cannot determine where we'll be born to. That we are here where we are today is based on lack of trust, selfish interest, and some set of people believing and thinking winner takes it all. And when you are using the theory of winner takes it all, like this Aristotle will say that every human being, we are political animals. When the oppressor did not get what they intended from the oppressed to the oppressed, they would demand for their rights. That's what the origin of IPOB or MASO. If you trace the origin of Nigeria as a country during the colonial systems, their motive to you might be as regards maybe it's a fraudulent or as a result of what they want to, the future of Africa. Let's take South Africa as a case study. If per adventures, these colonial masters see that this is the future of Africa, they will not live easily the way what they did to South Africa. But they believe, they don't see, before the oil was first discovered in Udobri in 1958, these people have been packing their bag and baggage they want to leave. And when they leave, they believe we are matured enough, we are sensible enough, we have political wills, we have the orientation, they are giving us something, and we are learned person. They know that as in Nigeria, we are fast thinkers, we have what it takes to determine our future. But our problem is, who are those that want to determine our futures? What are their motives? Like somebody from the Southeast who said they are the descendant of Awolowo. descendant of Azikiwe. Somebody from north will tell you they are descendant of Sardauna, and we from the south will tell, oh, we are descendant of Awolowo. Who amongst these present politicians, in future we can refer to back that they did what Awolowo did in southwest, that they are up to Nnamdi Azikiwe in the east, they are up to Sardauna in the north. We are just deceiving ourselves on the concept of Nigeria. Yes, Nigeria is an entity. It's a universal truth. But how are these things not working? It's because of selfish interest. The theory of me and I.
That's among the politicians.
Among the
politicians,
like this man who used to say, the present emir of Kano, Lamido Sanusi, he said we have two peoples in Nigeria, the elite and the masses. The elite, they know what they used to do is they try their way to use two things for the masses to fight each other. Whenever they have something like this that the masses want to unite together, they use two things: politics and religion. And when they say this thing, when they say they know that we as an Africa, when these colonial masters are coming, they bring Christianity. Some other from the east, from the northern Nigeria, from Sokoto Caliphate, they bring the Islam to Nigeria. And when we are taking the religion, we take it hook, line, and sinker. To the extent you even see our own personal religion as something archaic. Automatically now, what they can use for us that an African Nigeria is either religion biased or ethnic bigotry. They now use that system to colonize us, to divide us. And through these divisions, they are eating from what they don't deserve. That's our origin of our problem is selfishness from the so-called politicians, from the so-called leader we are having today. The question is, did they have the common man interest at heart? If yes, how? That's the question.
Okay. Just to shed some light on what Nigeria would look like. In 1914 was the amalgamation, of the Northern and Southern Protectorate. And then in 1939, the then Governor General, that's one Bernard Bodillion, he was the one that created 3 regions: the Northern, the Western, and the Eastern region. 1939. So prior to independence, even political parties were formed then, practically based on their regional base. You had the action group in the Southwest, in the Western region as it was called then. You had the Northern People's Council. The name said it all. It was only probably the NCNC that was more a party that looked more national, which was headed by Herbert Macaulay then. Then after his death, Nnamdi Azikiwe took over. So prior to independence, you had 3 regions, and after independence, these regions were independent. They had separate legislation. They had army commands, police commands, all based on their regions. And we had a weak federal government.
Sorry to cut you short. Yeah. Like you said, during that time, the Southwest is known for cash crop, most especially cocoa. Right. Cocoa house was built with cocoa money. In the South and in Ibadan, the cocoa house is still functioning today. What happened to that cocoa we have? Immediately, Nigeria discovered oil. We now streamline our own thinking to monopolistic system of government. Yes. Today, I was reading an article posted by somebody as regards how productive Ekiti State was then. They said Ekiti State started the cultivation of further rice. They have a lot of things they are doing that time. How an average Ekiti State man is becoming lazy nowadays? Only God knows.
We know why.
Why? Because they depend on strategic allocation from above.
That's right. Okay. Sir, Destiny.
Thank you, sir.
Representing our Niger Delta region. You're welcome.
Yes, I'm Destiny. Primarily from Nigeria first.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a Nigerian. But speaking of ethnicity, I'm from the Gwere tribe as a Odabo local government. Yeah, River State, Nigeria. Yeah, I think I want to make a very clear point here. What my honorable brother here has said is beyond doubt a very reasonable point. But I think that Nigeria problem is, number one, is a case of disunity.
And what caused the
Very
disunity?
good. And this disunity was a result of an ideology that was biased. Now, if I
by who?
yeah, biased ideology from whoever, the colonial master,
Okay.
the wherever. Now, because when you come and tell me as a man, because one of the oldest things I have seen on earth is an idea. So when, like he said, when you come and tell me that this man is a minority and this person should supersede or he should be a subordinate. Yeah, he should be a subordinate. Now, what happened is you have just, whether you like it or not, you've given this child a message that he will run along with.
Inferior.
So when you tell me that this boy, as long as he lives, he is inferior or he should be inferior to you. Now you've just, as a matter of fact, told this guy that, listen, all the days of your life, this guy should be a servant to you. So that ideology, as a matter of fact, is the problem we have today in Nigeria. So when you come and say these people are minority, like he said, and these people are whatever, it's already like an idea in everybody's head. This boy grows up tomorrow, or maybe the moment your child is born, you tell your son, hey, listen, these other people, they are minority to us. So whatever you do, you must ensure that you mustn't bow to them. So when that issue of, when you have inculcated that idea into little kids, you see, so even when they grow up tomorrow, they look at you, they are minority. When I have a child and I tell you that, listen, you are born to rule, and at every single course you must be a leader or you must rule. So I have just told my son, whether he calls for fighting, killing, whether by any form of killing,
wow,
you must ensure that you are a leader.
You are a leader.
So by so doing, when this man tells you, hey, listen, I don't want this, what happens? Then you will now want to impose that idea on him. Why? Because your dad or whoever told you that this man is inferior to you. You get it? So for me, I think that is a problem that is an
ideology.
Is an ideological problem.
Okay.
You understand? If this thing if it was given to us, if it was an idea that was shared to us, say, listen, because this thing is powerful. When you look at a man, one of the worst things you can do to a man is to demean him. You look at a man and tell him you are a minority.
Yes.
You have just somehow defined his destiny.
His destiny.
But a time will come, one of the problems we have right now, according to your question, sir, a time will come when this young man, this boy realizes that I can do better than I have been told. Listen, I wasn't going to be a minority. So he tell you, he will come to this man, sir, listen, what I was told, or the way you see me, I am not that kind of person. I am smarter now. I have more information. My eyes are open. I was told that I'm supposed to be a minority, but I'm telling you that I have equal right with you. And because this man wouldn't want to succumb to what I've just said, he would do every single thing to ensure that the power remains very good. And I am coming to fight you. I'm coming to impose what I've just learned, that I wasn't meant to be a minority. So with that, there's conflict. You want me to be a subordinate or to submit myself to you. And I'm telling you, listen, you are a Nigerian, you are a man, you are flesh and blood. Whatever right you have in this nation, I equally have, because I have that by the law of nature. I can decide my destiny. By the law of nature, I can chart my own course. So right now, I'm telling you that I don't want to be under anybody anymore. So I think that for us to be able to fix the problem of Nigeria primarily, we need to deal with that idea. Because every Northern, I'm sorry to say it, at the back of their mind, they've been told that, hey, listen, people are leaders. You are born to rule. If you're born to rule, then who is born to be a subordinate? That's the problem. So if we begin to correct this, and that is what has led to our disunity. Because you tell me that I was born to follow, and then you are the leader. Man, I cannot. Because, oh my God, I don't want to be subjective now. Because every human being on earth has dominion. You were not born to rule over me.
Exactly.
Right.
You get it? You are not born to rule. The same power you have by nature. I have the same power. So when you want to supersede your will over my life, I tell you no. So when I tell you no, is it subordinate? When I tell you no, I'm being disloyal.
Yes, you are seen as a rebel.
As a rebel.
So
I think that's the major problem. It's an ideological problem.
Sorry to add to, just to support, it's not that the issue of succession, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started these agitations, I look at it as, what a good point in the wrong way. Why? Why did I say so?
Why?
Nigerian as an entity, they said there is, in where I came from, I'm a Muslim from Baghdad, they said I call something Ajamatul Rahman, congregation is a blessing. We know we have, as an average, somebody that's been bamboozled, that been brainwashed and later see reality that this is how I'm supposed to live my life. Somebody cannot just tell me that I'm supposed to be in a secluded area. I have the potential, I have the ability to do some things. But when some people come together and tell you, you are not up to that one, and you finally realize that this is my ability and my capability. And when you come together, but when you don't use the power in another in where you're supposed to do it, it will become like a threat to the country. The question is, when this issue of succession comes, when the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and people of Southeast is talking about Biafra, I was like, if this Biafra even come to reality, I think from my own personal experience and what I've seen, it will be worse than South Sudan. The same thing happened to South Sudan. When they are clamoring for...
We shall come to that.
When they are clamoring... Okay, let me try.
Sorry, let's not debate. Let's not debate. Okay? We're still talking about what happened here. We get to IPOB, definitely.
Very good.
We'll talk about Nnamdi Kanu. We'll talk about this issue because a lot of people are saying that Biafra will be worse than South Sudan. We'll definitely talk about it.
It's okay, sir. Now, I was saying something before you made your contributions.
Right.
Now, you began by saying that prior to independence,
right,
we had 3
regions,
and they were all doing well.
Exactly.
Doing well.
You see, that is to tell you that before then, this idea of the minority, the majority, wasn't inculcated into anybody's head.
That's right.
So as long as there was nobody will supersede his will over your life. Whatever you had, you manage it. You have a family, he has a family, he has a family, for instance. You know how you manage your family. At the end of the day, you place food on their table. He knows how he manages his family. At the end of the day, he places food on their table. Whatever food he could provide for or he can afford for the children, they eat it happily. Whether whatever he provides for his family is not up to what you provide for your family, his children doesn't care. His children doesn't care. But the day you come to me or you go to him and then you start telling him, listen, from today, henceforth, whatever you're giving to your children is nonsense. So your children should submit to my family.
And probably try to take that food.
You want to take the food from them. So this is where the problem is. You have a family, you know how to run your family. You have a family, you know how to run your family, and it's working for you. So when I come from nowhere, and then I'm telling you, see, this thing is not working. I want to tell you how to run your home. I want to tell you how to run your home. Man, nobody accepts that. And I think primarily that is where our problem is.
Okay, and to add to something now, before I will come to you now, to add to something, like I said earlier, in 1963, the Midwest region was created. Why? From the Western region. It was to give more self-determination to the so-called smaller ethnic groups. And this Midwest region is what came later to be called Bengal State.
Yeah.
Not to leave them under the Western region.
Okay.
And they stayed and they flourished. Well, unfortunately not for long. Okay, Sawazani.
Okay, I think to some extent, my name is Wadzani Jabani Dagala. I'm from Borno State, the northeastern part of Nigeria. Now, we are in a way, we're trying to shift from the main subject matter here. I agree with what my fellow brothers have just said now, talking about how, idea problem, selfishness and all that. But at the same time, one of the key things that we need to consider is the fact that we have failed to understand ourselves. Now, I'm from Borno State, and Borno State as a state has almost close to about 8 to 9 different languages. Now, my mentality as a Margi man is different from a mentality of a Kanuri man. And for the two of us to live together in harmony and in understanding, we have to understand ourselves. Now, we as a nation, from the inception or the creation of of Nigeria, we overlook our differences instead of for us to understand and accept our differences. Because even, okay, I am a Christian, and you know, the Bible made me to understand that unless two cannot work together unless they agree. So what the whole problem of Nigeria came as a result of disunity. And what brought about disunity is the fact that we have not understood our differences. I need to understand how you feel. I need to understand.
No,
Actually,
for you to say that.
Let him finish.
Now, that's the problem. People feel that, okay, yes, I cannot understand. But, you know, one thing I believe that whatever you say, that is what the mind works with. Now, if you believe in with your mind that you would not believe, you will not want to understand what your fellow brother's ideology or his mindset or his culture, then you cannot work together. So the funny part of it is, okay, now the Biafra people wants to have their own state. They want to split. They want to leave Nigeria. Now the truth about it is, within them, the Igbos, there is no unity.
Don't say so.
They have problem of unity.
I disagree with you.
Now, they have problem of unity. Now, even if they are out, the truth about it is the problem is still going to be there. Now, separating Nigeria is not really the problem, because even if we separate, the problem is still going to be the same issue that we have as a whole Nigeria. It's going to be it's also part of the Igbos. So and then they're going to okay, now these people, for example, some Igbo man will say, don't go close to an Ibise man. I'm coming, sir. I have been around.
The matter on ground. Sorry, sir. The matter on ground is, how did we get here?
Moderator, can I just help my brother? Emphasize on certain things, maybe to give an enlightenment in what he's saying.
Okay.
You know, one thing there is that why is it that most Nigerians, you drink medicament over someone's headache? Why? The question is, how do we get here? And you are telling me that Igbos are not in unity? No, my brother, you get it wrong. You get it wrong. Why? Because I can tell you, among Yorubas, Hausas, and Igbos, right? Igbo is the only tribe that love each other.
I disagree
And
with you.
They always show the love to their brothers. One, after the war, there was Biafran asylum. When was that war started?
67.
There was asylum. There was refugees, right? But how long did it take before you can know it? There is no Biafran refugees. How did we get to that point?
The question
Well,
is,
I'm coming. No, let me finish. How did we come to that? We came to that without the help of federal government. Remember, they gave our father 20 pounds after the war.
Yeah,
Then, how come? We started helping each other. A brother will go and find a way of making money and sustaining their life. He will come and carry his own brother and put him there. Not only put him there, you must make sure that he climb up. We are the only region who can take somebody as a servant. He will serve me 5 years. After 5 years, I will establish him. We are the only region in that let me use this word, contraption, who always help brother. I will get my own cousin and I will pay for his visa and everything and send him to abroad to make sure that he becomes somebody else. I'm coming. Let me just give you, because you are telling me that Igbos are not in unity. You are my brother. You are not. You didn't get it clear. You didn't get it direct, because you cannot just tell me that Igbos don't love themselves.
Sorry, sir.
Okay,
please,
sir,
the moderator. I think that right now, the problem, what we're looking at as it stands now, is not about the Igbos being.
We've not yet.
So we've not gotten to that point yet, because if people are, as a matter of fact, talking about the Igbo now, maybe they are not in unity, they are disunity. I mean,
no,
they
he
are-
started
they are-
telling me
so-
about
no, no,
politics.
sorry,
It's
sorry.
alright.
I mean,
I am
It's okay,
from
sir, listen,
brother and brother
sorry,
quarrel.
sorry,
It's
sorry.
okay.
you
You're
understand?
making
Even
me,
their own
excuse me, sir.
twin
Sorry,
brother.
yeah,
Yes.
They
because-
quarrel with him.
Now you're
You know,
making me
but the
think
most
that.
important thing, how do you reconcile?
Excuse me, sir.
It's
You're
alright.
making me think that the Igbos are the problem of Nigeria. Excuse me. For now, I don't think that, because as a matter of fact, if you tell me or look me in the face and tell me that the Igbos are not united, Nigeria, as we speak, is not also in unity.
Yes.
So, as a matter of fact, that is not what we are looking at now. Sorry to say it. The first thing first is how
do we get
did
here?
we get here? Because if we must give solutions to our problem, we must know how we began.
Yes.
What-
Fellows,
where-
I
where
think the
problem
point
and-
Wazani was trying to make is that apart from the fact that we have a general problem,
Yeah.
even when you come to the regions, you
Yeah.
still have the same
Very
problem in a
good,
miniature
very
way.
good.
Even families.
Yeah,
have their
I
own
think
problem.
that's the
the
point.
problem.
His point is not that there's something bad about
About
the Igbos or anything.
Yes,
He's just
but
trying to
if
say
we
that
did not tackle
that's
that
right.
unity issue,
Because-
coming
Even
from
if
down
it's
up.
split,
Yes,
now,
yes.
the
Right.
problem is
Will
that
still be there.
if I can try to
No.
get what he's trying to say.
What are we?
What he's trying to say as regards the causes of our problem, that Nigeria as a country, we are in a state of mess, secondary to disunity.
For
We
more
are
than
so-
100 years.
Yes, we are something called schizophrenia. What is in the medical world is which means splitted minds. You understand? My mindset is different from what I say out. You understand? Now the question is, if let's say Oduduwa go on his own, how do we don't want to see you? Biafra go. We want Niger Delta go and have your own republic too. At the end of the day, there will still be another problem that will ensue in this region, in this federal state.
It's not that will not be a problem because they will handle it by themselves. Why
The question,
are we-
the question, if we are not trying to envisage there is a problem in future, that's one thing.
There is no problem
Let
in future.
me
Depends on
try
how
to
you
say
see it.
something related to medicine now. The whole scenario of medicine is based on three things. We have what we call preventive medicine. We have curative medicine. We have palliative medicine. When I say preventive medicine, when you know there is a problem, there's a way you can prevent it. Because our forefathers, and so our leaders, our forefathers tried their own before the independence. They make a unity, but when after the independence, after the coup,
No,
when they bring the military comes in, there's a lot of problems, a lot of embezzlement, a lot of issues arises, and later we have a problem. How are you going to now tackle the problems? How did the problem started or in the first instance?
Doctor, I think sorry that I just had to cut you short there, because you see, when you speak from this perspective now, you're making me think that, of course, preventive one would have to be foresighted. Am I correct?
Yes.
You have to foresee the problem
Yes.
before and then provide
Provide
solution
solution before the problem
Very
comes.
good. Now, if I should speak from your if I should flow with you, now I may have to tell you that if that be the case, then do not talk about disunity in whether there is a disunity or there will be a problem at talking about the Igbo or the IPO, because for somebody, I'm just trying to flow with you, because if I should, as a matter of fact, I want to do something and I should look at the preventive aspect. It means that for this men, or I'm not trying to I'm not trying to support or whatever. We're not there yet. But what I'm just saying is that if they want to split, for instance, if they want the IPOB, whoever wants the IPOB, they would have foreseen the problem. So you don't know whether in their secret place they are tackling the problem already. You get it? Because as a matter of fact, from Nigeria, the way Nigeria is, anybody who wants an autonomous state, city, country, whatever, you would have learned a lot from Nigeria. You would have been able to perceive problems before based on what is happening to Nigeria, and then see how you can be able to say that to mitigate those problems.
All right.
I don't know.
No, yeah,
Sir,
okay.
What my honorable engineer here is trying to say, that was a very beautiful idea, because the essence of diversity in terms of languages was not meant to get us separated.
Like,
our differences should be a reason for us to come together.
Mr. Destiny.
No, in terms of language.
It's like you didn't get it right.
Okay,
We
sir.
are talking now in terms of language.
Yeah.
The Northern Cabal, they made Hausa language as a Nigerian national language.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know
I
about
didn't
that.
know about that
You
one.
don't know about that one, but I'm telling you now.
The question is
Wait,
when
I'm coming,
and where,
I'm coming.
how.
I
The
disagree.
question,
with
no.
I'm
With your own
just- let me-
assertion-
take your point,
with
Sean.
your own
Let me-
assertion- with your own assertions.
Let me make my point first.
Sorry,
Let me-
let's hear
you
it.
know, we are talking about prevention, right?
Yes.
To prevent something so that it will not happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where do we start? In which year do we start? Okay, let's go back from 1914, from the amalgamation. From there, what went wrong?
That's the problem.
That's the problem we are facing now.
What went wrong?
Yeah.
So what am I trying to
Disunity.
say? There is no way of preventing, because in my own dialect they said, "Nkita talata, cha-cha abaduru."
No.
When a dog bites you, there is no way saying no. That is it, because the dog have already bite.
Missing you.
That is one thing you have to understand.
That is
Wait,
now.
you
That's
made
now.
mention-
That's
you
now.
made
That's
mention-
now. We are now
I'm coming,
curating.
I'm
From
coming.
that, we are now
One
curating.
second.
You are not curating.
No,
You
no,
are not curating.
sir.
I can tell you the only medicament that can be applied
And that is.
and the whole entity will be okay. That is this referendum we are calling for.
Okay.
Because what am I trying to
Wait,
say?
wait.
What am I trying to say? Let me take you a little back because you made mention of something about the first coup.
Yes.
The first
Have we
coup,
wrote-
from your own perspective, the first coup devastated everything, jeopardized everything, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. Then what about 1945 pogrom? Do you know about it?
I read about. I
Then
read about
you read
it.
about it.
Yes.
Then why didn't you start from 1945?
That is because there's nothing-
because let me just enlighten you now. Because most of you always think that our own problem, Igbo started after our problem after the first coup, and you people just baptize it and
The
at the
question-
same time
the question is
put confirmation.
when-
Let me come. Put confirmation, confirmed it, and said that this is Igbo coup. Why that is not Igbo coup?
It's not.
If you can check the people which
Check.
is involved, wait, it's only about 2 or 3 Igbo men. Real Igbo men. Yes.
Yes.
Others was not Yorubas and the Middle Belt.
Then when
But then why must when I see all these intellectuals in Nigeria, all these our government, our president, governors, senators, they will come out and start talking that this is an Igbo coup. I mean, let's forget about that one, because that is where the problem started. This is a military coup. People in the military orchestrated that coup, but in order to punish and to kill and massacre the Igbos, the whole about I can't mention the number of Igbo military. They just wiped out
Over 300 officers.
over 300 officers.
Yes,
was wiped out.
can I? Sorry.
All right.
No, what we have to tackle here is this. Don't think that our problem or the problem of Nigeria started
In 1966,
in the coup.
after the first coup.
Well, no, the problem have started, and I want you to tell me why was that pogrom? Over 45,000 Igbos was killed in the north. What started? What was the cause? Then from there, because if you build a building, you are building the structure have problem from foundation. Then what are you going to do?
The question is when I hear a lot of people telling Nigerian problem is based on foundations.
It's from foundation.
Is based on foundation. Yes.
Yes.
Even if for example,
Yeah.
you said that this I want to build a 3-bedroom flat on this bungalow, on this land. Funny enough, you made a foundation for 3-bedroom flat, but when God wants to do it in miraculous way, something on the cost of something happen, you want to change your way. You can even change your plan.
Why do you apply God in something that you are structuring?
The question
Why
is
you no? Why you apply God? Why
It's
God?
okay.
Why God?
It's all right.
You are creating that. You are creating that building. You are doing
please,
it.
Then the
let's-
question is
Why
let's-
God?
we
Why
have to
God?
move on, please.
Sorry,
We've
yeah,
gone
really
far
have
on
to,
this.
we really have to move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
If you understood what I was saying, I was trying to let Dr. Lukman understand that when you speak of preventive in terms of medicine, I was saying that if he's bringing that into play, it doesn't have anything to do with the Igbos or whatever.
I'm not talking about
No,
Igbos now. I'm
I'm
talking
talking
about generally as a
Very
Nigerian,
good.
as a state.
Yeah, so I was looking at it from this perspective. If the Igbos are calling for secession or for an autonomous whatever, they would have foreseen their problem, and as a matter of fact, they will prevent it. That's the point.
So
I was trying
is
to
there
make.
problem, sort
So
of?
is
trying to say?
it what
No,
I tried
no,
to
no,
let
no.
me
What
know?
Alright.
no, I am trying to put that to him that in terms of being preventive, like Nigeria, he was talking that our leaders, they did not prevent the problem from the onset.
It's the leaders.
That's what I'm saying. I said, if the Igbos are calling for that, for separation, don't you think they would have seen their problem in future
Alright.
and they have a means of trying,
Okay,
a means to,
let's move on.
mitigate their problem?
Like I mentioned earlier,
Yeah, let's go on, please.
in 1963, the Midwestern region was created to give voice to a smaller, the smaller groups that were there, for them not to be swallowed up,
Yeah.
you know. And let me underline this. The very first time that a state was created democratically and not by a military decree, the very first time it went through due process and the Midwestern region was created in 1963. Now, came 1967, at the height of after the coup, let's talk about the first coup that happened, which failed, and Aguiyi-Ironsi took over. 6 months after that, a counter coup took place, which led to, reprisal, what I'll put in quotes, as they put it, of the people who led the previous coup, the first coup, it was mentioned, about 300 Igbo officers were massacred. Many had to escape. Okay, from 1967, you had the tension, you had the pogroms in the north, then tension was very high. You had the Aburi meeting,
Yes.
which for me was the point where Nigeria missed it.
Okay.
Things were bad. That was a point when we could have sorted out this issue. And I am so disappointed that Nigerians, even the learned ones, don't want to go back to the Aburi Convention, open the records, and listen to the decisions that were made. You must have seen the videos. You must have seen the video of Ojukwu and Gowon eating together at the end, laughing.
These people are just laughing
So-
at our ignorance.
So, it's unfortunate. It's okay, fellows. Please, let me finish. Aburi Convention would have sorted out Nigeria's
Yes,
issues.
yes.
It would have taken us, back to where
We mixed
where we missed it. We could have gone back to the same 4 regions that we had that were autonomous.
That was
Because-
working.
That was working.
Very good.
Because after the first coup, when Aguiyi-Ironsi took power, they put power to the center. But you still had military governors in these regions. So they were still sort of somehow autonomous, to a certain level, but ruled by a strong military government. Then, in 1967, after the Aburi Convention, which personally I believe was where it was missed, was when, after that convention, maybe Gowon and his team came back and some people told them that the decision was wrong, or like people are saying that the British kind of interfered and told him no, because everything would have gone back to the first point. We could have had separate regions, autonomous regions. Now, what happened? Gowon created 12 states. Out of the blue.
After the war.
Before the war. Before
Before
the
the
war. Yes,
States.
in
Okay.
1967.
Yes, 1967.
That was when Ojukwu, the first time, Ojukwu, he refused. That was the first time Ojukwu said, in that case, we're not going to be part of this. That was the first time secession even came up. Let us put the record straight, because a lot of people are distorting Nigeria's history. And the young men and women today don't want to learn history. And history is not being taught in our schools today. I mean, the truth of what happened. So when I'm not saying it because I'm Igbo or anything, no. When they called Ojukwu that he was power drunk, he wanted to get power, he declared secession, and that's what led to the war. No! That wasn't what led to the war. After the creation of the 12 states, that was when he said no. And that was when the first time the topic of secession came. But the problem had been there before that. Let's get that straight, please. Fellow people listening, please, let us get this straight. No need to distort history. Because when we miss our history, then we are bound to repeat it. Okay. After 1967, after the war, it was declared no victim, no victim.
Yes.
Now, that is the next point. We're talking about how did we get here. Let me say this. The second problem that took place, that happened, that led us to where we are today, was that there was no sincere reconciliation. It was not there. No victor, no vanquish. Perfect. It was the perfect,
Solution
solution
at that time.
at that time. Because according to Gowon, I listened to his speech. He said he had to make the Igbos believe that they are back. They should not feel defeated. These were the words. But they were not matched with action, the proper action. The third point that was missed was, like I said earlier, the second point. There was no reconciliation. Look at, after apartheid, there was reconciliation. Even Rwanda, that had probably, arguably, the
genocide,
on record, the worst
genocide
genocide you can think of. They had a reconciliation program. People faced their oppressors. People faced people who killed their families and their loved ones. You face them. You talk about it. Today, they have a museum with the skulls and bones of the massacred people. They have them for others to see.
As a history.
As history. For you to know where you're coming from, so that you don't repeat it. Excuse me. Nigeria never did that. From the point that they tried to sweep the whole thing under the table, thinking that you don't need to, raise more tension or what. No. That you need to talk about these things. Yes, it was wrong. We shouldn't have fought this war. Everybody is sorry. And then you try to bring everybody into the system. Bring everybody. Not the Igbo man, not the Hausa man, not the Yoruba man should feel that, oh, I have won or I have lost. At least the ideology would have been sown there. That was where we missed it again. Let me call it again. After the Aburi Convention, the second time was after the war. We could have started again. Unfortunately, we now started having a system, coming back to the first point, bringing too much power to the center. And more states were created. And the more states that were created, the more we were divided.
Can I try to join you with that?
Right.
The only scam, the perfect scam that we can see in that place called Nigeria is the creation of that state. More states, giving power to the center. The question is, when these people go to the center, what are they doing there? What are the executives, the legislators, and the judiciary doing? Look at even the recent scenario, an issue of confirmation of Magu or not confirmation of Magu and the EFCC or no EFCC order. As regards, why is it that when the first set of people they are seeing millions of dollars in their house are from judicial systems?
Right.
Why is it the judge? Why are those people why are they so selfish? Because, like I said earlier, our problem is we are using the theory of egalitarian principle, which is winner takes it all. You understand? If I want to become something, our problem now is one quota systems. Two, if I don't know somebody, you are a minority.
That's right.
You cannot stand on your own that I am in Nigeria. The question is, when you ask an average Nigerian, you said, I'm from this particular region, from this state, from this local government, even from this town. Automatically, we are telling people that I am on my own. There is no unity between. If you are not from my side, you are not part of us. And if I want to consider somebody, I firstly consider what are the people from my side. Even look at the admission system in Nigeria. A lot of things have been. A lot of things have gone wrong.
I think we should go through
some
comments.
Yes, some conversations.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, like I've seen one of the comments. Somebody was saying that someone was saying that I'm trying to say that there is no love between the Igbos. Or
We've started that thing with trans.
Yeah, no. Let me say it with my own mouth so that you hear. Now, I'm not saying that Igbos don't love each other. I'm saying that the truth of the matter is, the problem of Nigeria is from its unity. And this problem of unity is found in every ethnic group we have, all the ethnic groups we have in the country. So even if we split, that problem will still be there. I don't have an issue with Igbos. Okay, I have lived with Igbos, I have friends with Igbos, I dine with Igbos. I'm just saying this fact that the problem we have is unity, and even among the Igbos, there is disunity.
Likewise Yoruba too, and
Likewise in
Hausas.
Yoruba, likewise in Hausa. Even in my own dialect, my own ethnic group, there is a problem of disunity.
Unity.
Even between clans, from my own tribe, we have different clans. Within different clans, there is disunity. So please don't get me wrong, okay?
Okay. Somebody said that he loves this topic so much that we should continue next week.
Yeah.
I believe there's a lot to talk about. And I'm happy that we are being sincere in what we are saying. And that is the point our politicians are missing. We are being very, very sincere with our talks. Yes, brother.
Somebody said something like, as from today, Gowon Onaze Emergency said that from today Gowon is no longer welcome in any part of Biafra land until he dies. My brother.
It's all right. It's you know, everybody.
Yes, he's entitled to his own. I was just trying to tell you something.
You know, one thing there is that
please, fellows, share this video. Let this message get out there. Let people hear, listen, and let everybody start his own dialogue. We need to dialogue. If the politicians are not making this possible, we have to take the bull by the horn.
So, as I was saying, Mr. Moderator, you know, one thing there is that I should make mention of where they miss it.
Yeah.
We miss it.
Yeah, we did.
Everybody believed that we missed
They
it.
miss it. And we don't have to think, why am I annoyed is because my fellow African brothers, black brothers, don't even understand. Whether you like it or not, you are going to be my neighbor. Whether you like it or not, you are my neighbor. For life. Your generation and generation will be my neighbor. Whether you like it or not, we are from West Africa. We are in ECOWAS. Yes. We are in AU. So the most important thing here is this. Why not? Why can't you ask yourself? Why can't the rulers of that contraction ask themselves? Why is it Soviet Union great? For them to have the peace. And they are happily living together. Forget about the problem of Ukraine and Russia. It was interfered by another people. That is why you see what is going on happening in Ukraine right now. You know, so why is it that with the marriage, somebody said that I don't want to be in this marriage anymore? Why is it causing havoc? Why is it causing problem? The Biafrans, yes, of course. After undergoing many things, we have lost not less than 5 million people. We have lost not less than 5 million people. How do you people want us to be enduring? It's quite unheard of. I mean, the people are saying, the masses are speaking out. We want to be on our own. Why can't them just understand?
Sorry, sir. Mr. Moderator, is that the next point? Is that the next point?
Actually, no.
I know
trying to read the
I know
comments.
that when we get to this issue,
we shall
be able to trash it out because of time.
Yeah, we have to. We have to.
Yeah,
we have to
let's move on. At least
now,
the most important thing is that at least we've been able to establish where we missed it.
Yes,
that's
right.
So if we want to provide solutions now, we'll be able to
get
provide
to
solutions
that.
because we've
Now,
known where we missed it.
let me underline some statements.
Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talking about what our founding fathers, let me call them that, what they had in mind, prior to independence, they had in mind that we will be independent in a federal system.
Okay.
So let me read you, according to Chief of Buffalo, Bafemi Awolowo, he said, Nigeria is not a nation. It is a mere geographical expression. There are no Nigerians in the same sense that there are English, Welsh, or French. The word Nigeria is merely a distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria and those who do not. So he's not trying to say that, because this was the concept of Nigeria, of having the independent region in a federal state. Let me add another bit from Ahmadu Bello also mentioned.
Yes.
When we've seen this video where we're talking about the Igbos. That the Igbo man he comes to your village, he tries to kind of take over your things, and this and that. It's better for them to even employ foreigners, whites, instead of employing Igbos. And then he went on to say, okay, how come in Igbo land you've not seen any kind of northerner being employed? So he made it clear that's why his mission there was, they said the northerner first. Go and check the video on YouTube. The northerner first. He wasn't saying this because it's like a federal system that we have now. Because he is the premier of his region. So he wanted to decide on whom to take and whom not to take. You might read that from two different angles.
In the federal government state.
If it's in a federal state,
In a federal state,
with autonomous regions. Well,
Mr.
that is
Mr.
something different.
Mr.
So,
Monitor.
excuse me, what I'm trying to say is this. Our founding fathers, let me call them that, had a federal structure in mind where people would be on
But
their
it's
own,
own.
have a weak center. The time we missed it, we went for that. Gowon created 12 states, and later Murtala created 19 states. After that, we had 21 states.
And Abacha.
Then Babangida, Abacha, now we have 36 states. Now, what we need to understand is this. The more they created those states,
The more they are
the more they were
power,
dividing people.
Yes.
And the more they were like putting confusion amongst even the regions. For example, some years ago, the people heard that Abia state government, let's come to Southeast, expelled all the workers from Imo State, from all their regions. And they said, well, those of us who are out there, you can come back.
If
If it was a region, an autonomous region then, nobody would have remembered even any state. So the more they put boundaries within the regions, the more they created this problem. It happened in Bendel State then.
It even
They had to create delta to
it happens
appease
in
people.
Osun State and Oyo State.
Oyo,
when the government
they
of
did not
Lautech
assume.
Teaching Hospital said, if you are from Oyo Lautech, we are building another, WHO build another structure for them. Come back to Ogbomoso, and if you are from Ogbomoso, we are not paying you salary. Go to Osun State. Why? Because they create that mentality for us to be divided. Before 1991, Oyo State happened to inculcate Osun State.
That's
But
right.
1991, Osun State was created.
All right.
Automatically, Osun State happened to be a daughter or a daughter state of Oyo.
Okay.
Are we now having the unity even as Osun and Oyo State? The question is, if you are talking about unity, you have unity in diversity.
Okay,
All right.
are you
Let's,
not saying that part of
fellows.
the problems of Nigeria is the fact that more states were created?
Yes.
Okay.
Problems.
Now
Because
let's
they
go to the next point.
We'll deal with that.
We'll deal with that. Let's go to the next point.
Okay.
Now, we have Prince Oscar Ojinaka,
Okay.
representative of IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra. Now, a lot has been going on for the past few years. Now, sir, I have a question for you. What does IPOB want? Why now? Maybe you can make this clear as short as possible and let the viewers hear.
What